think the biggest misconception about being a bartender is you get laid all the time.
So is it true what they say about bartending?
I think the biggest misconception about being a bartender is you get laid all the time. People think that we get laid every night. And while it does help in that aspect of your life, what you have to remember is I'm working. So if I'm flirting with some girl for 2 or 3 hours, buying her drinks, flirting with her, at 1:30 when it's time to close up and clean up, somebody else is going to sit down and talk to her. And I'm busy, and 9 times out of 10, she's not going to be able to wait for me to clean up and get out. She's going to either leave on her own or she's going to leave with somebody else. So we don't get laid nearly as much as people think we do. We get numbers a lot, but there's very little follow through on that. So that's a huge misconception. To me, it was always a funny one. Don't get me wrong, we do okay, but it's not like what they like in the movies. The other misconception is that we're rolling in dough. We have bills to pay too, and we don't have a 9-to-5 job and benefits, and it makes it difficult to go to the doctor and have insurance and make your car payments and whatnot. So we make a lot of cash, but we also have the same amount of bills as everyone else. So those are my big misconceptions.
I think one big misconception is that people think that we make an insane amount of money and that we don't work hard for it. It's kind of just thrown at us. Like I said, I have my days where I'm standing here and I'm slinging beers and I walk out of here with a lot of money. Then I have days where I work my ass off. Like blood, sweat, and tears goes into it. And you leave here and just defeated, where you're just like, yeah, you made some money, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the things people say to you. You get treated sometimes like kings and queens, and then other times like you're the drudge of the earth, that nothing even matters. And I think a lot of people think that we just come in here, mix cocktails, whip up some Bloody Marys, and that's it. And you're out for the day, and you have like thousands of dollars in your pocket. And that is definitely not what it is. I think another thing too is a lot of people kind of think that bartenders have this arrogance about them, like we're just all arrogant and cocky. And that's why it's awesome working here, is because you get an opportunity to know people. So when you go into corporate, when you're sitting at that bar and you're looking at that bartender, they're cold looking because they don't have any personality, because they don't have any freedom at all. So if I didn't know that, I would automatically think that, oh, they're just assholes. Oh, they don't care. They make so much money, they don't care. So it's just, it's a great industry to work in, but just like everything has its pros and cons. It's just,
definitely one huge misconception of being a male bartender is that all the ladies love you, and things just fall from the sky for you. That's, I would say, a huge misconception, at least in my experience. I can't speak on every male bartender out there, but from what I've seen and male bartenders I know, that's definitely a misconception. By the time we're usually done with our events, it's 3, 4 in the morning, we're tired, we're covered in pineapple juice and lime, so we're not definitely the most attractive person at 2, 3 in the morning. I would say another huge misconception is that we're all alcoholics or we drink a lot. It is true that a lot of bartenders enjoy alcohol, enjoy cocktails, enjoy drinks. It's definitely not true that a lot of us, go out and blow our money in having a day of drinking. Some do, not all of them. I think a lot of bartenders just enjoy the fun aspect of being able to make somebody have a good time. Being able to come up with a new cocktail, that's different. That's pushing the envelope. You know, that's maybe adding an ingredient that you would typically use on a food item, but now you have it in a cocktail.
It's not that things happen to you, it's that things happen. The minute you take something personally, it makes the job very difficult, whether you're a bartender or a cab driver or a businessman or just living life. The minute you realize, the minute you take things personally, it becomes bad, you get upset.